Hi, I'm Dennis Washington with this week's weekly pep talk from Cross Digital and CrossDig.com. Be prepared. I was going through some old notes and came across a speech I'd given just a few years ago to some local Cub Scouts at one of their banquets, their awards banquets, and it got me to thinking about the whole motto of be prepared. It was one of those things I've heard all my life since I was a young kid and made my way through Scouts all the way and through getting my Eagle Scout and so forth in middle school and high school. And it got me to thinking a lot about how that concept applies to us and how it still applies to me, how I've used it when I used it in school, when I used it in college, when I used it in my professional career in television and use it in my personal life now. The whole concept of those two words, be prepared, it really, when you start to think about its impact and applying it, just how big those two words are. As one of the founders of the Boy Scouts, Robert Baden-Powell, said more than 100 years ago, there's nothing like being prepared, is there, for what might seem possible, even if it may not seem probable. It's being prepared for what you know's coming, but even more prepared for what you don't know's coming. Got to thinking about this too when in Bible class with my juniors and seniors. We were talking about in the book of Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. The story's really clear about them getting thrown into the fiery furnace for disobeying orders and not worshiping the statue of King Nebuchadnezzar. They were prepared before that statue was ever made, before they were ever taken captive. And before all of that ever happened, they were prepared to defend themselves. They had prepared themselves to know what they believed in, what they didn't. So when that day came, they were prepared to say, no, we can't worship the statue because, and here's why. It's kind of like when I talk to kids about storm safety, about tornado safety. You don't wait until the meteorologist is on TV telling you to go to your safe place to ask mom or dad, where's our safe place in our house? You do that on a sunny day, weeks, months in advance, so that when that warning comes, you don't have to wonder, because that could mean the difference between life or death. I mean, some tornado warnings, it doesn't happen as often as it used to, but sometimes you may only have 30 seconds of warning to get in your safe place. And if you're spending 30 seconds trying to figure out where that safe place is, you've wasted some valuable time. So you need to know that now. So it's the concept of being prepared to defend yourself. Robert Baden-Powell, probably one of the favorite lines that he gave in his farewell message to Scouts that he had meant to share after his death. He died in 1941, but one of the lines I really love, it starts, but the real way to get happiness is by giving out happiness to other people. If you're prepared to be happy, then you're prepared to give out happiness wherever you may find it. You don't wait until someone needs happiness from you to figure out how to give that to them. You're prepared to do that. When in applying to your business, if you're prepared to talk about your products or your service as a brand journalist would, if you're prepared to help your customers solve their problems, when they come to you needing your help, you'll be prepared already. You don't have to wait for your customers to come to you with a problem and then try to figure out a solution. You're already prepared with those solutions. It's so important to be prepared in everything you do. And it can really mean the difference from a business perspective about winning a customer forever and not. So be prepared. Be prepared in your life. Be prepared in your work. Be prepared in everything you do. Don't sit back and wait for problems to come to you and then figure out the solution. Figure out the solution before the problems arrive. I'm Dennis Washington with this week's weekly pep talk from Cross Digital and CrossDig.com. Be prepared.